Hi guys.
All
Alright. Right. Busy this morning?
Yeah. To your predecessor.
Flying around?
Mark, congratulations. I'm sure somebody's mentioned the milestone for you. 100 not out.
Yes, apparently. Not bad in this day and age.
Well, that's one I was going to mention to you in a minute, but you are now the third longest serving manager in the Premier League, which probably speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, that's how it is this day and age. It's not easy. You've got to be conscientious. You've got to have a good deal of luck sometimes, but you've got to work hard and be consistent in your work, and hope that makes your group of players better. I like to think with experience myself and my group, management group have got over the years, we understand what it takes at this level, and that helps you. But you still got to be fortunate on some occasions, and that enables you to keep in the league and keep working, and thankfully having a little bit of longevity, which seems in short supply at the moment.
When you came in, one of your key tasks was to change the way that Stoke played. Do you feel you've done that? And how does this squad and how does this place compare with when you first arrived?
I don't think it was a key task. I wasn't told that I needed to change the way the team played. It was just my view when I very quickly understood, having worked with the group for a couple of weeks, that I felt there was potential in the group to play possibly in a different way, in a way that would enable us to progress and not be a bottom half side, rather have ambitions to be a top half side, which thankfully we've been able to do in the previous 2 years. It's not easy. It was about people buying into what I was saying, and believing in what I was saying, and the work that they were given. They could see that maybe that had the potential to improve them as players and as a team. And in fairness, all the players I've been involved in since I've come to Stoke have all embraced what we tried to give them, and as a consequence, I feel, I'd like to think the players feel, that they've improved as players, and the team consistently has performed at this level, which is really difficult to do. So I've been really pleased, but it's a lot of work by a lot of people, not just myself, that enables the club to be stronger now, in my view, than it was when I walked through the door.
An established top 10 Premier League club in the first 100 games. The next 100 games, even beyond that, would you hope and expect?
Well, we continue to try and push the bar higher, and we don't want to stand still. Obviously, I've said before, there'll come a time where we can't progress anymore in terms of a glass ceiling in the Premier League. We don't think we're anywhere near where we can get to. I don't want to give it to you because then you'll hit me over the head with it. So no, we feel there's more progress to come. We're confident in that, and we're happy with the way the season progressing as well. We had a supposedly slow start, probably yes, in terms of points on the board, but performance-wise I wasn't too concerned, because I felt we probably started this season performance-wise better than we had done in the previous 2 seasons. So I always felt we were in decent shape. We just needed to get points on the board. Thankfully, that's what we've been able to do now, and we're looking, if we can get maximum points of the weekend after 10 games, it's our best ever start in the Premier League. So it shows how quickly things can turn around.
Yeah, the club have never won 4 on the trot in the Premier League, but you feel you're well placed to do that now. The confidence levels, the solidity that you've created.
I think we're playing with confidence, and that always helps. I mean, back-to-back wins in the Premier League is huge. To be able to go and do that with 4 games is a massive boost to everybody. And I think there's very few teams, other than the top-end teams, that have the capacity to be able to bang out result after result, home and away. And at the moment, we're in a period where it seems we're able to do that and have the capacity to do that. We need to make it happen for a lot longer period. Obviously, we want to continue in this vein. We're playing well. We're enjoying what we're producing, but big games to come, and that starts at the weekend. It won't be easy against Watford, who started really well themselves, in my view. They've got a good way of playing that works for them, good threats, pace, good ability, which seems in this day and age most Premier League teams have. So that's the strength of the Premier League that you're up against.
All the three that you've won, the last three in the Premier League, you've won by the odd goal, and you were utterly dominant for big parts of that game against Swansea. I wonder whether you're saying to the players now, John Joe Shelby hit the post, you could have come away from that game with a draw, which on the balance of play you wouldn't have been happy with, I'm sure.
No,
is there now time to be a little bit more clinical, or is that difficult to do in the Premier League?
It's unrealistic to really think that you'll go a whole 90 minutes against good Premiership opposition and not give them an opportunity to score goals. I think if you look at almost every team in the Premier League from top to bottom, at some point they may make a mistake or an individual error that will lead to an opportunity created by the opposition, and then you hope you can retrieve those situations, or your goalkeeper makes a save that keeps the status quo. And we've had examples of that this year. But I think from our point of view, defensively we're happy with what we're producing at the moment. Certainly earlier in the season, Jack Butland was probably having a little bit too much to do, and rightly so. He was getting man of the match awards because of that. But in recent weeks, he hasn't had too much to do, and that's a good sign. That shows that we're consistent in our defensive work, and that needs to continue. So defensively, we're okay. We all feel that we'll always create chances. The other night we had one chalked off for offside. We had another 2 or 3 good opportunities where, if a little bit more care, we probably could have taken the game from Swansea more readily than we did. So we feel we're in good shape. We're playing well enough. We've got a defensive platform and strength at the moment that we're able to capitalise on, even though we're doing it by small margins.
Per Mertesacker, to start with this one really, Per Mertesacker in the week has made some comments to the German media. It's probably just best I quote it to you. If you haven't seen it, obviously, judging by the look on your face, here you have.
I've seen it.
When a mediocre club like Stoke City spends €10 million on an average player from Hanover, then that's lucrative for the German club.
Well, yeah, I'm prepared to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I think, not that I'm good at German, but it was just that somebody highlighted that maybe there's a different interpretation to the word he used: mediocre, mid-table, mid-level. So I'm prepared to give him the benefit of the doubt. Whether or not he's played against Joselu on too many occasions for him to judge that he's an average player, maybe he's basing that on Joselu's career up to this point. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But it's unfortunate bit when things are said in a different country and reported in a different country. Then sometimes the interpretation is a little bit goes a little bit awry, shall I say, diplomatically.
Nicely done. Peter Crouch has played 15 minutes of Premier League football for you this season. Has he still got a future here?
Yeah, very much so. I'm very conscious of the fact I haven't been able to give Peter as many opportunities as he certainly would like. There will be games, absolutely, where Peter is the right option for us, but it's been a situation where I've played Johnny Walters down the middle, done really well for me. Conscious of the fact that Joselu needs games as well, so I've been trying to give him game time, and as a consequence that has probably affected Peter in terms of getting on the field of play. But it's been a little bit of a frustrating period for Peter. He probably came back in pre-season a little bit behind the group, just because he'd had an operation and he was playing catch-up to a certain extent, so that's probably shaped my thinking in terms of the amount of football that he's had. But he's working hard. He's getting back to his proper level now, so he comes into my thinking a lot more now.
How's Mamdouh? Is he back a part of the group?
Yeah, Mam's come back. He's probably lacking a little bit of fitness work. We'll make a decision on him probably tomorrow, but given the circumstances of recent weeks, we're mindful of where he is, both physically and mentally. So if we feel it's the right decision to give him a little bit more time, then so be it. But he's here, he's training. I'll make a judgment. I'm mindful of as well that we've got 3 games in a week, So I'm certain that if he's not involved at the weekend, then certainly he'll play a part in the 2 games following.
The next one is Ryan Shawcross. Sort of question, really.
So similar situation. Ryan's come through 2 90-minute games now, and he probably feels ready. And every day he's training, he looks stronger and more ready to come back into the group. As I said, we've got 3 games this week, which will shape my thinking in terms of selection. So he's very much in my thoughts as well.
Thank you. Finally, Quique Sanchez-Flores played against you, I think. I don't know if you remember this, but he was Valencia's fullback when you were playing for Barcelona. He remembers you as a player, talks very highly of you as a player and as a manager. Do you remember? Playing against him?
I didn't have too much of a relationship with the opposition players, to be perfectly honest. Certainly not fullbacks. I used to quite enjoy shoulder charging them into rosette, as I used to call it. So he probably remembers that. I must have done it to him. I'd done it to most fullbacks, I think, when I was playing. So yeah, that was a long time ago. I've seen pictures of both of us at the time when he's commenting on, and some of age better than most. So yeah, a long time ago. Good times, but it's a situation now where we, as he said, we can't really affect the game as much as we like or as we could as players. So we strike frustrated figures on the touchline these days. But good times, good to remember always. But the here and now is what we're interested in.
You make of the side he's put together. I mean, 1 point from the last 3 games. They found it tough recently, but they've had some impressive results.
Yeah, on the road they've been impressive. They've got good threats. They've got good pace. A definite threat up top with the 2 lads they've got there. So we'll have to be mindful of them. But I think 10 games, 15 games, you start to see a shape to the Premier League and who's going to struggle, who's going to fall by the wayside. I don't see Watford as being one of those teams. I think they're strong enough to stay in the league. They've got to have a little bit of luck with injuries, which maybe some of the other teams haven't. But they look strong enough, and I think the amount of change that they've had, they brought in a lot of players in the summer, and they've been able to obviously pick up points even under those circumstances, which is not easy. So credit to them.
Thank you very much.
Mark, you talked about them bringing a lot of players, but they seem to have got the right formula. They seem to have gelled quite quickly, whereas other clubs they haven't managed that so well. How do you think they've managed that?
I'm not sure. You have to put it down to obviously the recruitment, to getting the right players to do the right roles that they've been asked to obviously play, and that comes from good understanding of what you need first and foremost as a manager and as a club. So I would imagine one of the key reasons is that you have to acknowledge the job the recruitment team has done there, and they brought the right players in, players that can cope with the demands of the Premier League, I would suggest, and woven into that group, they've certainly got players that understand the league and how hard it is. So they've got a lot of experience. Their goalkeeper's been in and around the Premier League for a long time, so he can impart that knowledge. So it's never easy when you bring in a lot of players, as a known to my own cost. It doesn't always work, but at the moment they seem a very strong group, seem very together, and that will help them.
And your opposite number at the weekend, Flores, he's in his first season in the Premier League. How difficult is that first season as a manager in the Premier League?
It's not easy, and arguably more difficult for managers coming from other countries and without the experience of the Premier League. But he's a very experienced manager, played and coached at a good level for a good number of years. So he obviously has an understanding of what he wants, and he has a philosophy. He's been doing this job a long time, so he knows what he's looking for in players, and in games he's demanding of his players because he understands what he wants. So that comes from experience, and he certainly got that.
This will be your 100th game in charge of Stoke in all competitions. So are you hoping for a win, maybe to just cap that occasion off?
Always hoping for a win. Yeah, I'm not too bothered about landmark in terms of appearances, I think it's more about focusing on what the team's doing at the moment. We're pleased with that. The fact is 100 games, I think, is good. I've lasted a little bit longer than the last job I had, so I'm pleased with that. So long may it continue.
And just about the Swansea game, it was quite a scrappy game. It was quite you have to fight and work hard for it. Are you pleased that the team showed that kind of character to get a result somewhere hard like Swansea?
Well, I thought it was a good away performance. I thought we showed a lot of control in the game. That's what we're looking to do in games. I think that control enables us to have good moments and quell momentum in opposition's play, and that restricts the amount of chances that they can create against us. And going the other way, we've always got a threat because of the attacking players that we have in our first 11 when we go up against people. So at the moment it's working well. We need to be conscientious, make sure that we continue to do the right things in training leading into games, and hopefully that will enable us to have a good season.
Mark, just to clarify on Shawcross, you'd say it's not out of the possibility that he could play tomorrow to make it to come back, because that seems maybe slightly earlier than you were suggesting last week when you said, maybe another couple of weeks.
Well, that's your interpretation. I haven't said yes, I haven't said no. He's training. He's trained for a week. He's had a couple of 90 minutes. He could play. The likelihood is that he won't play tomorrow, but we've got 3 games, like I said, so he's more likely to be involved Tuesday and next week. I have to say the back four are playing really well at the moment, and there's no reason to change it too early.
And then the other two I was going to ask about was Walters and Given.
John's trained. He's available tomorrow, and Shigan has had a couple of decent sessions as well. Likely to be fit tomorrow as well.
Quick question about Jack Butland. He's really hit the floor running this season, but what was interesting and very noticeable at the Swansea game was there was a slight hiccup, but he still recovered from that. He took a hell of a lot of barracking from the Swansea fans, but it didn't blow him off at all. We must have been impressed by that.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to the quality that he has in terms of his maturity. I think a less assured keeper, a more younger keeper who's maybe not as assured in terms of his feeling about his own ability, then those things can upset young keepers and affect their game. But Jack, given the confidence and on his knowledge of the game, he's played a lot of games at decent level, even in this early stage in his career, and he's probably had moments like that in the past. Thankfully, as he gets older, they become few and far between, and in fairness, that was a moment where he was unexpected, but he retrieved the situation. Good tackle in my view, good centre half tackle, so he got away with it, but yeah, he understands these things can happen, and they highlighted more obviously when you're playing in the position that he plays, but he got over it, shrugged his shoulders and got on with putting in a correct performance after that, and I thought he was excellent on the night again. Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.